Coming up this morning on Action News, a 63-year-old man is facing charges after police say he attacked a man with a cane and then barricaded himself in his home, telling police he'd kill them. It happened in Walla Walla and SWAT got involved. We'll share the details. Plus, Yakima police highlighting a cold case that dates back to 2020. Shots fired from one car to another. It killed one and left another with quite a bit of shock. Though uninjured, that person, the only witness. We'll share the details as YPD hopes it'll jog someone's memory. And Thanksgiving meals can be expensive and hard for some folks to pull together. In Sunnyside, a meal giveaway is planned for this week, and the Sunnyside Police Foundation says there's 300 meals to give out. We'll share where and when. That story and more coming up as you start your day with us right here on Action News. Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And Jefferson, in the world of weather, we got a pretty cool look over at Yakima right now. You're saying maybe some low clouds?
Low clouds and then maybe some fog hugging the city. As we take a look at the weather cam in a full view, I think you'll be able to see kind of what I mean. As we look right over the city, you can kind of see what looks like a film almost, and I think that is some fog that may be developing. As we do go into the next several hours, I think patchy areas of fog are going to be fairly commonplace, especially with all of that rain we did see over the weekend. We have a moisture-rich atmosphere. In fact, I was just telling somebody the other day that we are really starting to enter that kind of quote-unquote fog season. So this is something that we are going to have to watch out for in the days to come and in the months to come, really until we enter the springtime. Right now in Yakima, it's 34 degrees underneath those mostly cloudy skies. Again, I think with some fog developing. Here's a look at your weather headlines today and going forward. There is going to be some rain showers in the forecast area today. Early week rain showers possible both today and tomorrow. By Wednesday, weather does start to turn calmer, and then we are going to be focused on a downward temperature trend when highs will only be in the 30s. That's coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Spokane. A wanted man is on the run after allegedly shooting a person over the weekend. Deputies with the U.S. Marshal Service tell us Jordan G. Fleming is the suspect in question. They're offering up a reward of $750 for any information leading to his arrest. Fleming, who was last seen in the North Spokane region on Friday, is considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with information is urged to contact U.S. Marshals at the number on your screen. And a man is in jail after he was arrested Friday by the SWAT team in Walla Walla. Police say they responded after a 63-year-old man allegedly attacked another man with his cane, unprovoked, and smashed a car's window. When officers arrived, the 63-year-old man ran into his house, which was nearby, and told officers he was going to kill them while he refused to come out. Eventually, the SWAT teams showed up and used a flashbang to get the man out of the house before placing him under arrest. The Yakima Police Department is highlighting a newly released cold case and is asking anyone with information to come forward. KIMA's Austin Pepper spoke with officers and has the details.
It was the evening of May 12, 2020, where Daniel Branscombe was involved in a deadly incident right here at the intersection of North 6th Avenue and Gordon Road.
It involved he and his girlfriend at the time riding in their vehicle and ended up having some sort of confrontation with some individuals in another vehicle.
Daniel was the driver of his car when the fatal moment occurred.
Somebody in that vehicle fired into Danny's vehicle and he was shot and later died.
Daniel Branscombe passed away from his injuries at a local hospital. He was 39 years old. His girlfriend was uninjured in the incident, and the only witness YPD had was Daniel's girlfriend.
It occurred in a part of the city where we didn't have any availability for witnesses. It was kind of a north end in a kind of the rural setting of north central Yakima, and so we didn't have much to go on whatsoever in this investigation.
Detective Shaw tells me this was before flock cameras became available, so they had to do what he calls basic feet on the ground follow-up. They went to neighborhoods to where the suspect vehicle was believed to have fled to, asking nearby homeless people and knocking on doors.
We had have a vehicle description and some grainy footage of the suspect vehicle, but nothing that we would ever be able to be absolute.
YPD believes there were more than 2 people in the suspect vehicle.
There are certainly multiple people who know who committed this crime, at least 2. And we always hope that somebody that they themselves or somebody that they have talked to or told would come forward, do the right thing, help us bring these people or this person to justice.
Reporting in Yakima, Austin Peppers, Action News.
KIMA's Austin Peppers, thank you. And the information regarding Daniel's homicide and how to contact police if you have any information of the incident will be available up on our website, KIMATV.com. On to some lighter news this morning. An animal rescue hosted its annual bake sale and craft show, raising funds to support its operation. The Pit Bull Pen, which is located in Benton City, held the event on Saturday in Richland off Aaron Drive. Recently, the Pit Bull Pen stopped taking in dogs, switching to a foster-based model because they may be forced out of their Benton City property.
The Pit Bull Pen has a Facebook page where you can follow different dogs that need fosters or have upcoming surgeries or maybe have specific needs.
If you missed the event but would like to get involved, organizers tell us foster families are always needed, as well as food and other materials. Multiple organizations are getting ready to host a Thanksgiving meal giveaway in Sunnyside. The Sunnyside Police Department, Sunnyside Police Foundation, and the Junior League of Yakima are hosting their second annual Thanksgiving meal giveaway this Tuesday. The Police Foundation tells us they will be giving out 300 Thanksgiving meals from 3 to 6 p.m. at the intersection of 6th Street and Warehouse Avenue. The meals include turkey, sides, milk, and more, and they will give out one free meal per vehicle. Now, Jefferson, let's talk weather here. It was a little bit on the damper side this morning when we were driving in, but I understand that this week may be a bit more drier than we saw last week, correct?
Well, certainly drier than last week and certainly drier than the weekend. Some of the rain totals that we saw from Friday through Sunday are staggering. In the Tri-Cities, we almost saw an inch of rain in just that 3-day period, or I should say in the Tri-Cities, 3/4 of an inch of rain. In Yakima, almost an inch of rain. I'll show those rain totals later on. But for today, still going to hold on to a slight chance of some lingering showers, maybe a bit damper towards the Blue Mountains, but in general, we are on a drying trend. Some lingering showers today and tomorrow before we do see dry weather back on Wednesday. What temperatures are looking like during that time, we'll have that coming up.